So I'm joined now by Ron Brooks, IACP board member, and Frans Heeres from the Netherlands. Ron, to begin with, the decriminalisation of marijuana is a very topical issue here in the US at the moment. Could you just explain why?
Sure. I mean, there has been a long debate in this country. We now have 15 states in the District of Columbia that have moved to decriminalize marijuana using medical strategies, medical marijuana. But there has been an effort for outright legalization in California. We're going to see that also in Colorado. That was defeated last year at an election in California, but will be repeated. That election will be repeated again this year. So a lot of money being spent by the pro-legalization movement and a strong effort by the courts, medical professionals, law enforcement, and others to try to defeat that.
And why is law enforcement here in the US, why are you so set against this?
Well, we're the ones that really, us and our colleagues in emergency medicine and the fire services and educators, we're the ones that see firsthand, the effects of marijuana and other drugs. 65% of all kids 12 to 18 that are in treatment in the U.S. are in treatment for marijuana alone. Drugged driving, mostly marijuana driving, incidents, especially fatalities and injuries, are increasing dramatically. We know that it causes mental and physical health effects for our children. They don't do as well in school. It exacerbates ADHD, bipolar disease, and schizophrenia. We've had a number of incidents of marijuana because marijuana, the THC content, the psychoactive drug, is so high. We've seen a lot of incidents across the country of marijuana psychosis resulting in violent crimes and violent incidents. And so, with the trouble we have with our two legal drugs, alcohol and tobacco, there really is not a good reason to legalize another drug and put countless children at risk, the motoring public at risk, and at a time when it would also damage our economy.
Okay, so Frans, you're from the Netherlands. Marijuana's been decriminalised there. What's been the experience there, especially with view to law enforcement?
Let me first clear a misunderstanding. Soft drugs are illegal in the Netherlands. Only the possession of 5 grams or less is decriminalised. So the trade and the production of soft drugs is just as illegal as in any country in the world. And what we saw is the number of addicted youngsters went down. It was from the point of health and success, but now we face the organized crime issue behind the growing of the cannabis. And that is something I'd like to expand here in the USA. If you're going to decriminalize the possession of marijuana or cannabis, beware and be alert of the organized crime behind it.
And how does it impact on society? What are the tangible results of this, do you think?
What you see is that at first it was a process of normalization. Everybody perceived marijuana as something just as legal as tobacco and alcohol. But now you see that people face the negative consequences of the organized crime behind it. 900 fires every year just caused by marijuana, home-growing grows, and a lot of illegal white-collar crime involved in the plantations and the organization and the transportation of marijuana.
And so Ron, what would you like to see IACP members do? How would you like them to support you in this fight?
Well, I think it's important to first to learn the facts. There's a lot of great publications out there. The IACP has done publications, a medical community. Understand the facts, understand how dangerous marijuana is, dispel the myths, and then get active. Be prepared to speak in communities, in schools and PTAs, in Rotaries and Kiwanis, anywhere you can speak out. Make sure your officers, the men and women that work for you, understand the issues and are prepared to speak. Understand that in the recent Gallup polls, law enforcement in America, local law enforcement remains one of the 3 most trusted professions, and so our voice does matter. And most of all, build a coalition of the community. Bring together educators and faith community and other active members of your community to form a coalition, broad-based across the board, to speak out against the legalization, because if we do not, the results will be tragic. We will lose a whole generation of children.
And Frans, what would your message be to the Chief of Police that you're going to meet here after your experience here in the Netherlands?
After 40 years of a liberal policy concerning soft drugs, my message is don't focus only on the use of hard drugs, but look behind the scenes of the organized crime. And my message will be soft drugs is hard crime. And so that will be the message to the law enforcement officers all over the world. Don't focus only on the use of marijuana and cannabis, but look behind the scenes, and then you see big amounts of organizations concerning in illegal activities. One marijuana plant in the Netherlands has almost $1,000 on a yearly base. So if you have an indoor grow of 250,000 plants, it is 250 million. It's a big business.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.